I'm Rebecca.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Nessa.
This is the Family Showdown!
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to my Top 100 Games of All Time 2019 edition. And with me, as usual, Crazy Man Hunter.
Crazy man.
Well, you're not normal, that's for sure. Alright, so, the reason I say it's crazy, because we're getting crazy up in here because it's the crazy awesome games time. It is my 20 to 11. It's about as good as you can get, with the exception of 10 other games. So, let us start getting... What?
Lettuce?
Let us eat lettuce? Let us get started. My number 20 was my 17 last year. So it's about the same spot.
Jumping right in.
It is the game that I am pretty sure I have played the most of any board game ever.
Ever?
Unless you count a card game of war. And then as a kid, I probably played 1,000 of those games because that was crazy. I know. Hey, this is what you do when you're bored. My most played game is Deception, Murder in Hong Kong. I have 60 plus plays. That is 60, folks. 5 dozen plus plays of this game. It is awesome. So, this is a social deduction game where you can play with up to 14 players. 14 with the expansion. What you're doing, you have 4 cards of murder weapons, and then you have 4 cards of items left from the scene in front of you. You have one person who is kind of running the game, who is going to be kind of giving you clues. They're the head detective person whose name escapes me all of a sudden. You know who I'm talking about. All right, fine. Thanks for your help, Hunter. And then, so
he's the CSI guy.
Dear heavens. I don't
Private investigator?
No.
The forensic scientist.
Forensic scientist, thank you. I don't know why that went just whoop right out of there. But they're going to give you clues. They are not allowed to talk or give anything away, but they listen to how the conversation is going, and they'll wait for the right time to be like, it'll say like, the murder took place, and it'll tell you time of day, and they'll pick a time of day, hoping that that will lead you on the right path towards the clues. You go 3 rounds of this. Everyone's given a little token that they can turn in as like their badge, and they turn in their badge and like, I bet my badge that it is this person, and you have to guess both the murder weapon and the item left at the scene. The investigator can only tell you if you are 100% accurate. If you only get one of those right, they will have to say no, and you have to guess, was it half? Was it all wrong? And discussions again flurry. Meanwhile, the murderer and the accomplice are, like whispering. Well, they actually don't talk to each other. But they're going to have a little bit of colluding going on here, and they're going to try to throw you off the scent by making false accusations and changing the subject at special times. It is marvelous. It is fantastic. And I've had it work with all but the very shyest of shyest wallflowers. And even then, they still secretly agreed that they did have a good time. It just stressed them out a little bit. Because they ended up being a murderer first time. That I felt kind of bad for. But, I've taken this to my smaller classes after they're done with finals. And this game, they love this game. I get the request of, hey, can we murder people after our final? Now that's the thing. And I'm like, yes, you can. And it makes perfect sense because we all understand each other. But outsiders are probably slightly mortified and called a counselor. It's great times. No, but honestly, though, the discussions that they have in this, and just the way people deflect and argue and back and forth, and it's a really funny game. I absolutely love it. And it works. It seems to work well with just about any group. Played it with gamers. I played it with non-gamers. Played it with students. Played it with family. It's just good times. Good times had by all. Some of the fun stuff that you can get in the expansion. Let me show you. This might have been put away and then stored incorrectly. You should not store this vertically. But, it's a thing. So some of the cards, just to kind of give you an idea of what kind of things you can expect. Let me see if I have any of the expansion cards. The expansion cards are hilarious because they are international cards. And they are just, like, ridiculous. Like, Greek has, like, Greek yogurt is one of the things. I mean, they're, like, really goofy. Oh, here we go. Italy. You have volcanic magma. Even though it's showing lava, we won't go there. Okay. Oh, here we go. Greek. Marble brick. I mean, they're hilarious. Oh, yeah. That's Spain, isn't it? Yeah. Castanets. Can you see that? Castanets. There's some funny ones like that. But then there's the normal cards. Metal wire. A bat. Starvation. Ooh, what a way to go. Bank vault. Again, that was a murder weapon. Matador sword. There's another Spanish one. But then, items left at the scene. Prescription. Hair. A carton. Ooh. England. Murder weapon is a cricket bat. Good heavens. But yeah, so there's a dart frog. Some of these are amusing. In the expansion, I know one of them. Yeah, Canada. Hockey puck. Yeah, I mean, they're just so funny. There was a laser shark in one of these. We just died laughing. There's some great ones. And then some of the upgraded pieces you get. Instead of the little token bits, you get like an actual. Kickstarter. Was this a Kickstarter?
Yes.
Or was this an expansion?
I think it's a Kickstarter.
Oh, okay, well the Kickstarter had these cute little microscopes.
I think.
And then instead of the little bullets, the bullets are cute too. I'm not gonna lie, they have cute little bullets. And then the other big thing that they had was metal badges instead of the little. These are little cardboard token badges. And then what the investigator has, the forensic scientist has, these are the cards for them. They're thick, solid cardboard, and they say stuff like duration of crime, instantaneous, brief, gradual, prolonged, few days, unclear. And then they wait silently, trying not to make eye contact with anyone. Conversation's going a certain direction. They might want to casually put one of the bullets down on here and hope that it leads the conversation towards the correct murderer and weapon and item left at the scene. Again, there's 3 rounds of this. Depending on if if you have people that kind of dither about a bit, you might want to set the timer. We rarely use the timer. I usually just kind of watch a clock, and if it seems like people are getting off, I'm like, okay, say your last bit, and then we're moving on, you know, and everyone gets that chance to make their accusations and whatnot, and then the discussion flies. If the murderer gets called out and they get picked, they get to talk with the accomplice and see if they can figure out who the witness was. There was a witness in this, kind of like Werewolf in a lot of ways. If they pick the witness, then they still get away with the murder because they can murder the witness. So there is that element of excitement at the end, even if they get busted, that they could still figure out who the witness was and get away with it. Super fun game.
It's alright.
Play it over and over again. Obviously, since it's my
game. You know, I don't feel the same as she does about that. It's my number 11.
That's craziness.
Favorite social deduction game, bar none.
So good.
My number 11. Good. What's my next social deduction game? Just for comparison, let's see.
I only have one social deduction game above it, and you know I like. It's not social deduction. I should say party-esque game. It is my number 1 social deduction.
The next social deduction is 44, so that tells you how much I like it.
Yeah, it's so good a game.
It is, dare I say, the bee's knees.
That's greatness. All right, my number 19 is new, and it is truly new.
I love how you quantify that every time.
I do, because last year was blah. That's what it was. Sum that up. Blah. Okay.
The kind of the sound this game makes.
No, it is not. It's more like caw. Caw. Yeah. Whatever sound you want to make with Wingspan, which may be multiple things. This is my number 19. Oh my goodness. This is one of the few games that is a multiplayer game that I'm like, hey, I'm going to play this solo. And I had a good time playing it solo. I wouldn't mind playing it solo again. It had an expansion. It didn't need it, but boy, is it cool to have more birds from another part of the world. And oh my goodness. So, I got to show you this because as you can see by the art, ridiculously gorgeous.
It's all right.
Hush. So, kind of sounded like a cave troll. Anyway,
I think it was a loon.
A loon.
It was a crying loon.
What kind of loons you been listening to? Yeah, don't answer that. So you have cute little pastel colored eggs. And it's hilarious. Like when we play with the girls, they like to pick their favorite colors out of these. The egg color does not matter, but they're fun. So have fun with that. Then it also comes, this game, they did a good job. So check this out. It's got its own little containers. And it actually, look at this. So great. Wingspan. What's funny is Wingspan, Stonewire. I wonder if they planned that. Okay.
I don't think they did, but that's kind of funny.
Yeah. Look at this. This all came with the game. You don't have to get your own insert.
That's in the expansion.
It's in the expansion. Why wouldn't you get the expansion when it comes with this stuff?
I think we...
Hush you.
No, I think we took one of those and put them somewhere else.
Oh, we probably did. Because we could fit everything in. It's got all the cards in it. It's beautiful. Ah! And then they fall out. Killed a bird.
I don't know what we're going to do when we get another...
Expansion?
Expansion.
Shh. Don't discuss these things.
Jamie. Wingspan. Big box.
Oh, yes.
Because I think we got one of the...
We'll call it the
One of
Great
these
Condor.
holders I had to take out and put somewhere else.
So, if you've seen any of the Audubon books of birds, you'll get the idea here. But, I gotta come up and show and tell again. Look at that little beauty.
It's a beaut.
Yeah, it's a beaut. That one's hard to see. Oh, hey, Western Meadowlark. I grew up listening to these. I love the call of these birds. I cannot imitate it because it's a little complicated. It is not the cacaw that I like to joke about. I'm looking for a loon. Sorry, I don't have a loon in here.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
I got a loon in
why
here.
did I get all the white birds? I need to get a...
Right over in...
Listen here, Buster. Oh, here we go. A common moorhen. Yes. But you can see the art for these is just stunning. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. You've got cute little pieces. All right, so I should tell you about the game. Besides the fact that you can sit there and gawk at the art for hours, you've got all these little resources, and you're building out a little tableau. That's also a little engine builder, because you're going to put your cards in different areas, which... Let me find my player board. Ta-da! Okay, so you can put them up here in tree land. They can go in trees. They can put their nests in the grasslands, or they might build it in a marsh. And based off of that, your cost gets more expensive as you put more out there. But they also chain off of each other, because as you do these things, then you're going to go back through, and each one of them, if they have any special abilities, those fire off. So you can build up quite a cool little chain reaction for, say, getting a lot of resources, getting a lot of eggs. Those are victory points, by the way. And they can be used for other things like getting an extra card. Or you can draw more cards so that you can get more birds to be able to continue the process. And wow, it's just a really smooth game. It's pretty easy to teach people. We've taught it to people that don't play a lot of games, and as long as you teach them basically what the basics are and how to read the cards, then they can learn to play this game. It's kind of like a intro plus game, I think. And so if they've played games of any type before, it's pretty easy to figure out, because everything fires off in a logical fashion. You just go in a certain order every time, and that's how the games go. There's little cute dice that have the different resources on them. They go inside the little 3D cardboard bird feeder house. And those, you roll those, and that's what's available for resources. It's really, really fun, smooth playing game. And it's one of those, as soon as you play it, because it doesn't take a super long time, even with a lot of players, and you're like, I kind of want to play it again. Common loon. That's you, babe. Common loon. No, there's nothing common right here. Nope, you're an uncommon loon. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful game. Definitely my 19. Here to stay. It was more than hype for me. It was an awesome game.
Yeah, it's a family favorite. The girls love this game. Nessa
fell in love.
Loves this game.
And I'll play any player count.
It's
obviously.
my 30-something.
Wow, is it really? That high for you?
35. Yeah, for a card game. Well, it's got a little more going on. It's got some resource management, engine building, all the stuff she said. I like it.
Oh, it's so much fun.
It's very, very aesthetically pleasing.
It's pretty.
It's a beaut.
It's a beaut. Yeah, it's very beautiful. All right. So my number 18 was my number 20 last year. Went up a hair, probably because more plays. Had a good time with it. And that is the funness of Coimbra.
Coimbra. Bra. Coimbra.
I feel like I just pushed one of those how to pronounce things.
Coimbra. Bra. Bra.
But not a very good one, though. So, you're a mess. Alright, so, Coimbra. Another one of those games where I played it, and I was like, this is smooth and fun, and I really like it. Even though it has dice. You heard it here. It has dice. What's it doing in my top 20? Well, let me show you.
Let me show you.
Let me show you. The board is not as big as I always think it is. I always think this board is huge. Probably because the way you travel through it is so tough.
Well,
so,
they have all the cards going off the side.
Yeah, the cards go off. Okay, the footprint, as they call it, for this game is quite large. Because you've got cards off the side, you've got cards here, you got dice all over the place, and your own little boards here. Okay? You got little castles to put your dice in. So cute! You've got multicolored dice because you have multicolored boards to keep track of things. And
track. Keep track. It's a track.
I get it.
Oh my
I
gosh.
get it. And you've also got these little regions. So there's different victory points to be had as you explore. These will have perks and things on them. So you want to go get those because you get credit for having... Do you get a longest road benefit as well? Or is it just... No, it's more regions. It's like types.
You want to get out to the edges because the little threes
The threes are worth way more than the level 2s, and level 1s are fairly generic stuff. Yeah, that's right. It is very, and I mean very difficult to hit more than probably... if you're up here 2 corners, but hitting more than 2 corners is very tough because it is not easy to travel.
I don't think we can make it to 2 corners.
I don't know. We haven't yet, but we could just stink at the game too. That's possible. But as you're taking the dice, oh, look at you showing this off. You wanna explain the little dice thing you're doing?
I'm putting them off camera so they can't see them. Funny.
Okay, well show us the dice and tell us.
No. So you have dice. It's a dice drafting game. So you're gonna roll the dice, and then you're gonna draft the dice. And what you do is when you draft, let's say I draft this orange, but my player color is black. I put the die in the little black castle, and now you know it's mine because it's got a black little castle thing.
Check that out.
So this is my die, mine. No one else's. Mine.
Special. All right, so you use that to do different things, as you can see here.
Drafting cards.
You're drafting them, but they have to have the dice in. Is it descending order?
Some are descending. The top is ascending.
Oh, that's right. That's right. They're different because this one is ascending. This
so if
is
you get a crappy die, you can go to the top and get something really cool.
Yeah. So you get a chance to get different things. You're going on and keeping track of these tracks because it's like how much money you have, how many people you have, victory points, and then areas on the board and whatnot. It is super fun to keep track of all this stuff. Some of the cards are the cards are neat too. The art's really pretty on them. The colors are fun. Here, I'll show you. I'm going to show you off some of the cards.
The cards are kind of handy because they say on them at the bottom.
Yeah, they tell you things.
Tell you what phase they're going to fire off on. I think there's phases A through E, maybe.
Yeah, they've got like that one was instant.
Depending on what phase the card happens in, it has the letter of when the card.
Yeah.
I think it's C, D, and E. I think.
Yeah, because I see C and E. I'm looking for the others. Instant.
Some are every round. Some are like at the end of the game.
Oh no, it's C and E, and that's it.
Yeah, I think C's every round, and E's at the end of the game. So C's always active, and E's.
And then the lightning bolts are instant, like most games. I don't know. It's cute. It's a very cute game. You have the Lion Rampant for your little player piece that you keep score with. Fun times had by all. What I think makes this stand out, because it has a lot of, again, this is another one of those games that I mentioned Hunter has. They took a bunch of the different things that I really like and then made a really cool, smooth game out of it. It's nothing that you're just like, oh my gosh, I've never seen a game of this type before. You're not going to be just blown away by innovation. But what they did do, they did it really well and made it really smooth, and it's really fun. And that's what really just set me off with this game. And
it's one of those games that has. I like games that have in-game goals.
Yes,
but this one's cool. It's you kind of opt into it, right? You say, I want to go for this goal, or I think I'll make this goal.
You actually have to go.
You're not just saying, okay, these are the goals everyone's going for from the start. You can kind of go, yeah, I'm going to work towards those, and once you think you're going to get it, you can opt into it and say, I think I'm going to achieve that goal. So,
which stinks if you forget to do that part. Don't do that.
Coimbra is my number 32.
I like how you don't trill your R's.
I can't do it. I'm from Texas.
I know it's cute. That has nothing to do with it. If anything, you should be able to.
Is it new?
No, it was my 20 last year.
Oh, you actually remembered to put it in your list last year. Impressive.
Oh, we're about to have some technical difficulties. All right, so.
Jeez.
My number 17 is new, and it will only be on here this year. And you will understand because I recently discussed with you guys about legacy games, and that I am going to put it in rank the first year that we play it, give you my impression of it, and then it's going to go goodbye because it's never going to get played again.
This one actually can get played again.
Although this one can't get played again. Why are you messing with my system? It's never coming back, okay? Unless we play it as a regular game. But then it wouldn't be categorized as a legacy game. I'm cool with it now. Obviously, if you haven't figured it out by now, I'm talking about Clank Legacy. Yeah, as far as a true legacy game, this is my favorite. Straight up. This is... Even as we're playing this, we're like, wow, this is a great game. Wow, this is a great game. And I want to spoil it and tell you all of the reasons this is the best game. And it kills me that I cannot discuss this with you right now. I can't even show you cards. This makes me so mad. Will you play this game so I can discuss this with you? Seriously.
They may have already played it.
This is a great... The sense of humor they have in this is hysterical. The plot they have for this is great. There's even some fun and funny twists to it. Things that you can do that have happened. There's events that happen. But there's some choices that you can make that can affect how things happen as well. Which, some games will do one or the other. This one has a little bit of both. You have the typical putting on stickers, tearing up cards, writing on things. I can't divulge much more than that because once again it'll spoil the game. This is killing me. Will you play this game already? All right. What else to say? It really is really good. If you like the Clank system, Clank or Clank in Space, and you want a fuller gaming experience, oh my goodness, you will enjoy this game. Absolutely, hands down. Absolutely loved it. Kind of wish you could erase that part of my brain so we could play it again for the first time. It was that kind of fun. I loved it that much. Forever. What are you singing? You going all frozen on me? What's going on? So tell me. What you think? What? So
this game, a few things to note. Like we mentioned, it is 100% replayable. When you're done, you will have your own unique, one-of-a-kind copy of what I would call advanced Clank.
That you can actually play. It's not like Pandemic Legacy where you've got a city that you've annihilated. There's no coming back from some of that, right?
You can't play Pandemic Legacy when you're done. It's done.
That's true. You really can't. This, you can play again.
Yes.
And you've got all these cool things that you've added to the game based off of how you played the game.
Correct. So, I mean, this is one that I would actually consider playing again.
Yes.
As a regular game.
Yes.
In fact, if it's just me and you playing Clank, I'd probably pull this off the shelf first before we'd pull the other Clank off the shelf.
There's so much winning right there.
But probably not other people unless they played Clank Legacy.
Well, yeah, because you don't want to ruin the fun for them in case they do end up playing it, right? Because there's major spoilage if you just pulled this out.
So look for this on my list next year.
Because you're going to have it down there.
I don't know where it'll land, and it'll only be, again, our new rule. We've agreed. Legacies get one chance. But if we do play the regular version...
Then it could come back as that.
Yep. Like Charterstone, we haven't played the regular... We never played Charterstone again after we finished it.
No, we haven't. And we have the recharge kit. But if that's the case, then we're playing again as a new game, starting from scratch.
Right.
And it's not replaying the board that we finished with.
Right.
We just haven't brought ourselves to doing it yet. This one, I feel like, we're more inclined to do.
Yep.
Oh, man. It's so good. So good. Play it. I want to show you some of the pieces. Okay. Better now. Stupid secret games. My number 16, I thought was an oops, but then I realized it's new because we played it, but it wasn't out yet. We got to play it before it came out, so therefore I did not put it on my list because it wasn't out, because I thought it was stupid to put something on that was only available like in very scant supply over in Europe.
It should have been on my list. I don't have these one-time play, don't own it rules that she does. that she's not doing this year that she did last year.
What? Oh my gosh.
Last year you had the rule of only playing. If you only played it once, you weren't putting it on your list.
Yeah, well, there you go. But I've played this multiple times, dear.
Now, yes.
Yeah, and then but it hadn't been out yet, and that was Crown of Amara. Boy, is it out, and boy, is it awesome.
It's kind of out.
What do you mean it's kind of out? Isn't it out on shelves?
Sparsely.
Ah.
And probably out of print right now.
That's really depressing. It shouldn't be out of print. Okay, so Crown of Amara, the reason this one's so fun, sure, it's a worker placement game. Sure, that's cool. We have a lot of those. What makes this one neat? You've got 2 boards, sort of. It's 1 board, split in half. 1 board is doing a completely different worker placement system. It's helping you get resources. Then you have the other part, and that worker placement board is what you're doing with those resources and mixing and matching and doing all sorts of magic hocus pocus so that you can get victory points and crowns. Because if you get extra crowns, those are mad victory points, and you go up the ranks and just look really cool doing it. Because you literally put a little card that has a crown on it above your dude's head, or your chica's head. I can't remember if it's I think you can play either one. And I really like the way the worker placement works. I really like how they manage the resources. And some of the resources are easier to trade in than others to get things. Let us show you what we're talking about here. Maybe. Perhaps. Oh yeah, it's also a funky looking board. Check this out. What? What? It's in pieces. So what you do is... you have to be smarter than the board. It's cool. I got this. I'm going to put 3/4 of it together so you can see. It makes a square. Then we have 2 squares. We put them together. And then we play. And that's how that works. And you've got places, some places you can only go to get extra things. Like you have to go to a place and actually spend the cost to put a worker there in one of the little huts so you can get the resource and get some bread. Because bread is really valuable in this game. It's hard to get. And you get to trade it in for some crazy good stuff on the other board. And so there's stuff like that going on. So you've got this worker placement thing and meeple placement, and then you've got the resource management. And again, it's tight. The game's really tight as far as turns. It's a great game where you have so many good choices that you have to narrow it down. And you're like, I want to do 47 things. I have time to do 4. What am I going to do? And they're all good choices. So if someone blocks you out of a choice somehow, you have so many other options. It's great. You'll have a plan B, C, and D before you even think about it. Love, 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 love this game. And it says 45 to 75 minutes. I'd say it's probably 45 minutes to an hour for us max 2-player. It goes pretty quickly. And it says it's 1 player. Ooh. So, solo peeps, this may be worth playing.
So, Crown of Amara is my, what is it? 26.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought it was
wasn't on my list last year. It should have been on my list last year. But yeah, like you said, we only played it once on the BGG cruise, and we didn't play it until the Dice Tower cruise the next year.
Yeah, it was like late, and so yeah, it's tis good. Okay, so wow, we're already at my number 15. It dropped a little bit. 15. It was my number 9, so it dropped a little bit. It was in the top 10, still going quite strong. And that is the sciencey goodness of Terraforming Mars. I think one of the reasons it dropped, to be completely honest, is they have got the bloat with the expansions. The last expansion that Hunter and I got, I don't even recall the name of it, but we were like, we're good now. Colonies? Yeah. We decided we're good now. We're not getting any more for this game. Because we want to continue enjoying the game, and it just seems like the more they're adding, the more it turns into work. I don't want to work when I'm terraforming Mars. It should be an enjoyable experience. So, we play with a hodgepodge of the expansions. Most everything. There's a couple things we're kind of about. But as far as the cards and stuff go, we threw all that in, so you just shuffle it up. I couldn't even tell you which cards are what anymore as far as that goes. I love the way they have the starting companies with different, asymmetrical preludes. Yes, gives you some extra starter stuff. Everything's asymmetrical. You get a different start. You have a different strategy approaching. Makes it a little bit more unique. We got the 3D or the recessed player boards, so that are all the 10 million little tokens you have all over it don't just go scattering if you breathe funny. The resource management, the deck building, I shouldn't say deck building, it's more like
tableau building.
Tableau building, thank you. Tableau building in this game. You've got kind of an area control thing going on the planet / the moon. Oh man, my favorite thing honestly is your player board and building up a really cool engine so you can do the resources and do the things they're going to stack with your tableau and chain off of each other so that you have like this massive turn every time. Love it. I love it. And the theme, of course, helps. They did a good job throwing enough science in there to make it fun. You know, you can't have fish until you have oceans of a certain temperature. You need to have a certain amount of oxygen and heat in the atmosphere before you can have certain plants. You know, I mean, they put a little bit of logic to it, so you're not just throwing random nonsense out there. Good game. Good game. You like it too.
Yeah, it's my somewhere on here. Where is it? 28.
Yeah, so you like it a lot too.
Yeah, it's really fun. I like the engine building. I like that. There's many different ways. It seems like every game I try something a little different.
Yeah.
Like one game I'll go like I'm gonna do animals. Next game is like I want to do all the little amoeba microbe things, and the next game I said, okay, I'm just going to try to build up on the board and do lots of stuff on the board. And
each one's viable.
Yeah.
That's the great part about it is we've both won doing completely different things each time, and it's really cool.
Yeah, but if I had it all, well, I mean, if you're jumping in and you're wondering what to do, like, do I buy everything? What do I start? Buy Preludes, buy the base game, play that for a while, and enjoy it, because
you don't need the other stuff.
The other stuff is great to a certain extent, but you don't necessarily need it, I don't think. The further along we go is like the base game's fine. I mean, Venus is okay. Colonies gives you other options, but it seems like a distraction.
It did.
I've heard that the latest one, I don't even know what it's called, Turmoil, is like a distraction because you're doing voting and laws and weirdness, I think.
You don't need that. This game is so good.
But Preludes is awesome. Getting you could, before in the base game, you could get an asymmetrical start, but it gives you even more. And it kind of gives you a kickstart, right? You kind of, It's almost like your first couple of turns are being handed to you in a card. Well, and it gets you going in the game. The first few rounds of the game is kind of I play a couple cards, I do this, I play a couple cards.
Well, and the companies weren't that different. It was just slightly different resources. I feel like with the Preludes, they actually give you an asymmetrical power to them. They can go a completely different direction than, say, his company. Because before, it's like, well, you get 2 of these and 1 of these, and I get 1 of these and 2 of these, and you're like, yay! It didn't feel like I was necessarily
power, but it wasn't.
It wasn't enough to really.
It wasn't going to steer you how to.
It's not going to steer you where to go, and the Preludes really does. So if you enjoy that kind of ability, you definitely want to get that. But you're right. I don't think you need to add any of the extra stuff. You really don't.
I find it very interesting. Okay. Being the math person that I am.
Okay.
That how many of your games? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of your games. Mm-hmm. And this 10 are in the same section of 10. Not necessarily an even 10, but between 26 and 35, 4 of your games are in that section.
That is interesting. It's
like you took your games and lowered it like by 10.
Yeah. And that's funny. That's really funny. Who knows? So, Terraforming Mars, space, more space. You notice I have a lot of space games.
We need more space on our show.
Oh my gosh. Wine. All right, my number 14 dropped a teeny bit. It was 12 last year. It is 14. I still love this game. People probably think I'm crazy because I like me some castles. Mad castles. I almost said castles of Burgundy. No, they may be burgundy colored, but it's Mad King Ludwig up in here. Mad King Ludwig. We don't even have... This is the base game. And I just realized it has an insert.
This one's fine. This is vertical.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay, good. Because I was just like, I just made a hideous mess. But this game is awesome. So, you are building a castle for a crazy guy. And the castle, all the rooms are wacky shapes. Check this out. I love it. So, you got some that are shaped like so. Pretty cool. Okay. You got some that are shaped like so. You got some that are shaped like so. You've got cute little tiny rooms. Each one of them is a different type of room. They have different requirements. So like this one, for example, it has a bonus that it gives you 3 victory points per garden tile that you have in your castle. Okay, so you get certain ones. A lot of times they're these big ones. Where are they? A lot of these are garden. Yeah, like this guy here. It's green. It's garden tiles. Has a little fence around it and stuff. And there's a few rules to how you can place the rooms. There's some rooms that are like music rooms, and they don't want those placed next to a study. You get a minus victory points for that, because clearly if you're in a study, you don't want to hear a music concert going on. So there's things like that. It's really cool. You get bonuses. There's certain things that'll, you put this room down and it gives you extra money, or you put this other room down, it lets you get an extra hallway so you can add more rooms to it. There's a downstairs. You can get a staircase so you can build things down in the basement, like dungeons and stuff. I think there's a mold room, which, all right, what do you do? Grow moldy cheese? I'm not really sure what you do in a mold room, but it sounds interesting. Kind of dank. But yeah, and it's just, there's a really neat bidding system for the tiles, because it's one of those things where if it's my turn, I get to place the tiles and that we're going to have for the round. They're going to be underneath here. And I can play a little mind game with Hunter, because I'm like, ooh, Hunter's got about $10,000 right now. I really don't want him to have this piece, so I could be a complete troll and put it at $15,000. Or maybe I want him to pay me a lot of money, so maybe I'll put it around that 8 to 10 range, make him clean out a little bit. Or should I just give it to him? No, I'm not going to do that. But I might want to make it cheaper for me, because I want that room. So there's this whole thing, because he gets to pick first what rooms he wants to pay for, and then I get whatever's left behind at the end. So there's a weird, fun, little funky strategy for picking those games and stuff. What?
Oh. I was looking at the other side. It's for more players.
Yeah, because there's one for more players and one for less players, which is really cool. We just have the base game. I like it as is. I have played the expansion, and I've played some of the other similar games. This is my favorite. And that's pretty much all I can say about that. I just love, because when you're done, you've got this wonky, wacky, crazy castle. It's always going to be some weird, unique shape. Super fun. I love to watch everybody sprawl and find out what kind of rooms they end up with. For mad King Ludwig.
You were doing so well.
I was, and now you're like, I hate this game.
Well, I mean, like I said, 4 of them were in my 20s.
This is like
30s,
200.
and then you have one that Legacy that I haven't played yet, and Deception, which is even higher for me.
Yeah.
And then Womp Womp.
Yeah, what number is this for you? I'm curious.
It's a very interesting number. 1, 2, 3.
That's funny. I'm impressed.
1, 2, 3, not for me.
Wow! As you put it as 123rd, and you said it's not for you. Wow, fired. I love this game.
It's all right. It's all right. It's good. It's good. It's not one of my faves.
Don't placate me.
Not one of my faves.
All right.
Not one of my faves.
All right. My number 13 is a new, and that's an oops, because it should have been on before. But it was a game that we didn't own for the longest time. And this one has given me stomach cramps from laughing so hard. I've had trouble breathing after playing this game. I have played it with my students, with family, with our con friends, our regular gaming group, and it has always just gone over like gangbusters. It is just hilarious. The experience is fantastic. You don't need to draw to enjoy Telestrations. Although, it's really funny to play this with different generations. The generation gap becomes quite evident when you draw things, and that was amusing, too. There's just cause for laughter. I still remember some of the dead stares you got from Nessa when you totally misinterpreted a picture she drew that should have been obvious.
Yes.
And, boy, she gave him a look. Boy, it was funny. But, yeah, this is telephone with pictures, so you're going to get a card, we roll a die, and you pick whichever number it matches, and that's the word you're going to draw. So I'll get cat on a hot tin roof or something, okay? You draw that out, Then you flip it over to the next thing, pass it to that person. They look back at the picture. They make a guess as to what it is. They flip the tile up. They pass it again. The next person looks at the clue, has to draw that for the next person. And you keep going around until you eventually get it back to you. And you see how close or how far away people's guesses got from what the original word or phrase was. It can get pretty interesting. Very interesting. There are some blanks in there where you can have wilds and you can put in your own. Someone put in Hunter Thomason, and we got Old Man with a Vending Machine. What are some of the other goodies? We've had, it's one of those, this is a game that always comes out with stories at the end of it because they're so ridiculous. People draw things and are like, what is that? My father, he got Housewife, and so he drew this little gal in a kitchen cooking and stuff. And Nessa, what did Nessa think it was?
Girl cooking.
Girl cooking. Because she doesn't know housewife. She doesn't know that stereotype or whatever. And so it just totally whiffed on her. And so it got really wacky as it went around. It's just funny to see how things change and the stories that come from it and the laughter. And this is just a great feel-good game. And it always goes over well. And yes, I know it's not on your list.
No, it's kind of on my list. It made my honorable mentions. Does that count? It's a 108.
This game's great.
108. It's a hilarious game. I don't know. It just feels
Is it too much of an activity?
Yeah,
for you? Is that what it
does. We tried the scoring once, and that went over like a lead balloon.
Scoring, nah. Don't even bother with the scoring.
So it's not really a game if you're not keeping score, right?
What is wrong with you? It is too a game.
I like this game. I like it a lot. For a party game to be in 108 is pretty good. For me.
You don't like party games that much overall, and this game is hysterical. I mean, seriously, run out of air.
I dislike party games. They're just not my super duper favorites. Super duper favorites. It's alright.
So we're going to go from a really light, goofy game to an incredibly heavy game. This game shot up the list. It was 33 before. It is now my number 12. And that's mostly, I think, because we got to play it again a couple times. And just had incredibly good experiences with it again. And we're just like, wow, this game is really good all the way around. And that is Vinos. Look at this monster. Vinos. So Vinos is not like, I know a lot of times people are like, how is it compared to Viticulture? Because that's the other winemaking game that most people, I'm trying to think, there are not that many winemaking games out there, right? This is the heavier, bulkier brother to Viticulture. Much heavier. If you like heavy games and you enjoyed Viticulture, you should kick it up a notch and try this. Because, once again, Lacerda has this crazy thing where he gives you all these just really detailed teach. The teach is a bear. But then, then you get this really exciting player board. I'm kidding. You can't tell what you're doing with that. But believe it or not, there's actually a lot of stuff going on here. What happens is this board, oh my gosh, I almost don't want to show you this board. I don't want to scare you away from it because at first you're like, oh my gosh, there's so much to learn. This is a Lacerda board extraordinaire right here. I'm going to show you that. Okay, I'll show you part of the board because it's big. Oh, you got it?
You fold it out right, I got it.
Well, yeah, you got to do that part right. Look at this monster. Look at all the stuff going on here. So what's going on is you have these regions over here, and you're going to have little tiles for the regions. And you get to do certain things with them. They have little perks, okay? And then over here, you're going to be selling off wine. Over here, you've got kind of a little meeple dude. You're going to do a little bit of worker placement, sort of, because that helps you choose some actions that you're going to do. This whole section over here is like, I think they call it the fair. Then there's a bunch of bonuses. There's just, everything has its own purpose. Thank you, Vanna. Okay. It looks really busy and it looks really complicated. And then once you go through it, you find out for your turn, you're like, move here, do a bunch of stuff. End of turn. Your turn. At the end of the round, we go play over here for a little while. It's funny because at its heart, it really is that simple. It's that elegant. But there's so much that you can do within that. And that's where the meat of the game goes. And so there's experts that you can get to help you with things. There's a trick to like when you want to sell and where you want to sell it. Do you want to wait for the fair? Do you want to do other things? When do you want to produce wine? Do you want to produce it in this area? Do you want to diversify and go through several areas? You can add farmers to your or managers and farmers. Is it farmers and managers? There's two different little dudes that you can add to your individual farms that you've taken to give you extra. They're basically add value to your wines as you build them. And it's all about building really valuable wine. It is a really, really amazing game that doesn't sound... Again, it's the same thing with viticulture, right? It doesn't sound like the most thrilling game you've ever come across. But then when you go to play it, you're like, wow, I really like how this works. It's really, really neat. I really love it. I just kind of want to watch this now. It's like a logic puzzle or something. What are you doing?
So I can't believe you don't know the name of the other worker. It's Latin.
Vinos?
What is it, enologist?
Oh, wenologist?
Yes.
Yes.
What's that?
Wenologist. A wine expert.
But it's enologist.
No, it's wenologist. It's O-E.
No, it's E-N.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh, look it up. And here we go. Oh. You found it, didn't you? No, you didn't? You're gonna look it up. You're funny. It wouldn't be enologist. I don't even know what that would be. I can't believe you. Okay, that's the Italian then. Actually, isn't it Portuguese? Isn't this Portuguese? Vinos? Isn't Vinos Portuguese?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why. The English word is O-E. Thank you very much. Look it up. Get your phone. Yeah, that's the other thing. This is Portuguese.
Viticulture is amazing.
This is not viticulture.
Vinos is amazing.
You can get them confused. But this one's much, much, much heavier. Much heavier. What's your favorite?
But the mighty has fallen.
Hey, don't discuss that now. Mm-mm. No spoilers.
How's that spoiling?
Next year.
We're sorry. We can't spoil next year's list.
No.
It's a year away.
No.
All right, fine.
Shame on you. All right, so...
better.
Oh. Spoilers.
It is my number 20.
Yeah, see, it's right there with you. And then, what's your favorite part about this game?
Not the teach.
Yeah, the teach is not fun.
No, what she said earlier, my favorite part is there is a 3x3 grid she showed you, and that is your actions for the game. Basically, you just move your little worker around and do different actions, and there's rules on you can't like skip. You have to pay money if you skip a space. You have to pay money if you go to a spot that someone already is. But there's only 9 actions you're taking in the game. But the depth of those actions is what makes the game heavy.
And I really like, for some reason, the side of the map side of it too, and picking which farms you want to use. I don't know why.
They have different superpowers.
Because they all have different superpowers. So I'm like, what would be a good combo? I really enjoy doing that. And then, of course, inevitably, you snipe something that I wanted. So now I'm like, okay, which other one would I love to do? But yeah, it's really, I just like the choices and things like that with the game. It's beautiful.
Yeah, viticulture's great.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, Vinos.
It's Portuguese.
Vinos.
It's Portuguese.
Vinos.
Portuguese.
Fine, yo.
Oh, wow. No, burn that. Okay, so my number 11 shot up from 21. We got to play it again, and I don't know what it is. I'm like addicted to the mechanisms in this game. I love it's gimmicky. I know it's gimmicky, and I don't care. Shamelessly love this game. And it's my boy. It's my boy Feld. And he made Amerigo. Okay. I gotta show you my little gimmick.
You're not even going to talk about the game.
No, it's Feld. It's point salad. Y'all know what that is. So Amerigo, he goes and explores places. You know, Amerigo Vespucci, the one that we named the Americas after. That guy. He made this gimmicky tower. I'm kidding, he didn't do it. Stefan Feld did. So, the tiles will be randomly placed. And the replayability is high in this because your map's going to change a little bit every time. It's going to change things, so you put these tiles together, see? make little maps. A bunch of island lands and things, and you're going to have a little boat, and you're going to travel around, and then you're sort of going to be Tetrising pieces onto the land. They give you resources and things like that. But how you go around doing this
Like looking for the cubes, and she has them.
Nice try.
Looking for cubes in all the wrong places.
Right? So, each round you get to pick, they have it, like each round you get to grab certain colors and things. And you put a few in to start the game, and so we'll do that. You pour in, made a mess. Okay, I'll get that later.
There's a specific number of cubes.
There's a specific number of cubes that you put in.
No, that we own, that has to go
Oh,
in the
hush.
game.
Oh, hush. All right. I'm going to try to
buy cubes.
There we go. So then, next turn, say it's your turn, and you're going to have, we'll say, 3 red cubes that turn. And you're like, okay. Now, determining what you get to do, these colors mean certain types of actions. And the number of them means how many times you get to do said actions or the power of that action. So I'm going to put these 3 red cubes in, and whatever comes out determines what kind of actions we get to do that round. Apparently, we have 2 reds, a blue, and a green. So that means I can do 2 red things, or I can do 1 blue thing and 1 green thing. Okay? So that's all that came out this round. Sometimes you'll get an explosion of good things. Sometimes you get nothing. You know?
I think you said that wrong. It's whatever the highest number is.
The highest number?
So you get 2 blue, 2 red, or 2 green.
Oh, is that how it goes?
Yes.
Because it's the number. Okay, the highest
Whichever
number.
highest number.
So that's kind of cool. It's actually, yeah, a little better than that. So you get 2 of one of these 3 colored actions. We just love this part. It's so much fun. And it's really crazy. Sometimes it's great, and other times it just absorbs all the cubes, and you're like, what just happened? I cannot do anything. And you're racing each other around to try to put as much, you're covering the land as much as possible. What are you doing? Did you just clog this with your dice? Oh, no, you didn't. What just happened? Why? They don't fit in there. Oh, I'll never get those out. My new game, my favorite game is ruined.
This game is not new.
It's new to me. I'm just kidding, it's not new. When did you think, in what universe is that gonna fit? Okay, anyway. Don't put your dice inside the cube tower. Oh my goodness. There's still stuff in there. Oh, you broke something. You broke it. You broke it forever. So that's Amerigo.
So Amerigo, you got this map. You got this map made with these little things.
I already talked about that.
And you have Tetris things that you're putting on the map.
Just like that too. In the sack, no less. Just slap them on. No, I really love this mechanism. I don't know why, but there's something about having to strategize, you know, feast or famine, right? You're just hoping, okay, I need a really good round. And here are the things that I could do with that if I have a really good round. This is a bad round. Well, what can I do? What am I going to do to recover from that? And you want to try to have a good balance of those things because each turn you're only putting a certain color cube down in there. So you're hoping to get that cube out to get to do that action, and there may be something else. You don't know. I mean, it's up in the air. And I don't know why that element of chance to this game makes it so neat. I really enjoy it. And I really enjoy the way the ships and the exploration work. It's just a really fun game. It still is felled point salad-y in a way, but I feel like it's more point salad-y in the options as far as what you're going to do each round. And I don't know. There's just something pretty cool about that. So what rank is this game for?
It's my number 20.
So yeah, it's within the same 10.
My 20. It is my second favorite film. Is that right?
That sounds about right.
Yes, second favorite film. Yeah, I like this one a lot. I like the. We discussed this before. I think it was in my top 100, maybe. I like being on a boat and going around doing things.
Mm-hmm. And you're on a boat.
For whatever reason.
You're going around doing things.
It could be a boat. It could be a ship. It could be a dude walking around. I just like traveling and doing things. Make me games where I travel and I do things.
Kind of like real life.
Like most of my top 10 is traveling and doing things.
Is it? That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Kind of.
Cool.
Kind of.
So do you like to travel and do things? Amerigo is your game.
You trying to pack this up?
I am.
Okay.
I can do things. I can talk to people and accomplish things at the same time. It's kind of peaceful. All right. I guess we're done here. That was my 20 through 11. Do you want to see my top 10? Well, tough. We're not doing it right now. You must come watch us live. We'll have it on what day? Next Tuesday.
Tuesday, February, whatever that Tuesday is.
That's helpful, especially when you're watching this later on. Yeah. So, but anyway,
If I watch it later on, it may already be ready.
Oh my goodness.
Tuesday,
I can't handle the time
February 22nd, 2020, Rebecca's Top 10 live, featuring me, but mostly about her.
That was the best ad yet. Yes.
Tuesday.
Yes. Hope you enjoyed it. And grand finale coming up soon. We'll see you soon. Bye.